Bro,
take
crazy.
it.
If you're like a Premier League player coming out like Kennel with Road,
Right.
I could do with a Rolex.
I could do with a Casio,
I
right?
could do with a Rolex.
And you just got to give him a Casio.
A cigarette
Gold
and a
plate,
Casio.
yeah. A cigarette, Coke can, and a Casio.
Packet of crisps.
Lucky getting a pocket of pie or something, man.
Georgie Bear, shut up.
Yo, bro. I just started this verse from the beginning of the whole song.
J'suis dans la Maybach fantôme, ça fume la weed comme au dom-tom.
Hey guys, and welcome back to the CrunchTime podcast, episode 7. Obviously, you're joined by myself, Manny. We got,
As always, TJ.
but sadly, there is no Astra today. Yeah,
Unfortunately, he couldn't make it.
sadly.
But we come with some special guests for a
Oh.
special episode for you all. So if you like football, you're going to enjoy this for sure.
And if,
So,
yeah, let's
What
go.
we're going to do is we're going to introduce a guest and they're going to say their football team. So can we first of all go for right to left?
Rith and Arsenal fan here.
Jeez.
Big.
Hi guys, I'm Jerome and I'm a Newcastle fan.
Jeez.
Hi guys, Kyle, representing Real Madrid today, but I'm an Arsenal fan.
Bellingham's in the room, guys. Yeah, we
England for the win, England for the win.
But yeah, obviously my name's TJ and as always, Arsenal, you'll probably already know that anyway.
My name's Manny. Obviously, Manchester United, but Kaiser Chiefs at heart. All right.
At heart, yeah.
At heart.
Mad. But yeah, so we're going to do a
crazy.
special football type of podcast, you know,
Big.
predictions,
Yeah.
Premier League predictions, and we're going to throw other things in there as well. So I hope you enjoy. So yeah, as
Like,
always,
subscribe.
yes, literally.
Come on.
I know, you, like, why you just do it now?
Yeah,
Like,
yeah,
literally.
yeah. Wait. We'll
No,
give
one
it.
second. Just give him 1 second.
Yeah, you done it now? Yeah, calm, right? Love that, love
Let's
that.
get back to it. But as always, like, comment, share, you know, subscribe, all of that good stuff.
Amazing.
Big love to you all. So yes, I think we just go straight into it.
Big.
Straight into it. I've got a question we want to talk about.
Yeah.
As we always do a question of the month, we thought we'd do it related to football, of course. So yes, no further ado, let's go straight into it and talk about. So, question for you guys and just open it up to everybody. So, will the Saudi Pro League become one of the top leagues in Europe? Or in world football, sorry.
Yeah, we love to ask good questions.
Good question.
Innit? I wanted to kind of start off with a couple of facts. Like, I think personally, I can see it getting there. For me, they're doing, like, I was into a podcast funny enough, like I was saying to you the other day. I was into this podcast and they were talking about how they've got like an English representative or whatever it is called on their boards. And they've got like a plan. So like their plan isn't like China. Like, remember China, they throw money at Oscar, they threw money at different players and was there like, just play for that league and it didn't work. Where like, listen to this guy who was saying that the Saudi actually have like a step-by-step plan of like, they want to go from getting all these good players. I mean, they've even discussed like they made a bid to go into the Champions League as like a wild card in the Champions League for the winner of their league to go into there, which would just change everything. So I can see it getting there personally. I think the players are signing, like there's a lot more younger players signing, a lot more older players signing, but I think it depends who they sign and who they can keep.
Well, yeah.
Obviously, it's a youth that I think they struggle with because you look at English leagues and you've got youth coming through they haven't got
grassroots
that,
and all
do you
that
know
stuff.
what I mean?
Yeah, and like shout out to the grassroots in the Saudi Pro League, but it's not like it's not like England. You know what I mean? Like at the end of the day,
The grassroots is the money. That's the grassroots.
exactly.
The grassroots don't even start at the grassroots; it just starts at Pro League. Money,
like-
that's it.
The money is green, the grass is green.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Exactly.
I swear there was a thing about like being in like League 2 in the Pro League. You were given like a house or something, as well as like 3K a week plus you get a house.
Mad.
Like if
Just
for the League 2
and
Pro
I
League.
think League 2 standard we all could get in.
Yeah,
I feel
mean,
like Saudi Pro League 2 standard we all could keep.
I'm not gonna lie. Some weekends I'm like, yeah,
So
my
if you're
love,
listening, we've got 5 players,
big.
half a team basically.
I mean, I required a house for
I
down
require
there.
a house,
100%.
money, all of that.
Yeah.
But yeah, but what's your guys' thoughts on that then?
I feel like when I look at the Saudi league, it reminds me a bit of the US in that, like NBA and stuff is cool and I love it, but like it is a lot more entertainment, and I feel like it's a lot more about entertainment when it'll come to the Saudi league because they're all admitting that they're going for money, but then there's also going to be great players playing in it. Like Benzema literally won the Ballon d'Or like 2 years ago.
Ronaldo,
do you know what I mean? Like,
starting it.
And there's
Neymar,
that guy who
bro.
just went
Neymar's
from,
crazy.
the 21-year-old Gabby something.
Gabby Vega.
Yeah, Gabby Vega.
Yeah, Gabby
Vega.
So it's
Yeah.
like young players are going there as well now. So
Yeah.
I don't know. I think they're on the rise, like what you're saying. And if they can get into the Champions League, I
That
didn't hear
changes
about that, but that's
everything.
crazy.
Yeah.
They've put a bid in for it. They've like, coffee. In 2024, 2025, it goes to league tables, Champions League, doesn't it? So obviously they've because it won't be knockouts. It'd be, I don't know how it really works. It's like
it starts off basically, it goes into a league table, and then I think it's like the top 16 or top 8 then go into a knockout format, and then it goes from there.
Yeah, that's wild.
There's more football.
But it depends. I think it depends though when you think about it, because if you put the Saudis into the Champions League, then everybody outside of Europe is going to want a piece. America will definitely eventually want a piece in there. And then you probably got China, and then it's basically, does it become basically good for football as basically you can pay your way to get into the Champions League, or are you talking about, do we want the best out of everybody in the world? Because I mean, ultimately, like in the end, we still got the FIFA Club World Cup anyway. So if you win the Champions League, you're gonna play these guys, and also that format's been enhanced as well, where it's basically like I think it's gonna be the top 4 teams from each league now, rather not necessarily just the Champions League and European winners. So there's gonna be more teams in those Club World Cups, I think, coming in 2026 as well. Yeah. So it's gonna be a more of a worldwide kind of thing in terms of club football anyway. So I think it's more or less like I said with everything, because I think what with the Saudis they've got with the golf now, they basically with the PGA. Look, it depends on your perspectives. I'm not going to go into like the human resource kind of aspects. It's really football. But I don't know if I like ever see it. It's ever going to be in like the top 5 league kind of debate. But as a foundation, I can't really see it, at least in the current future. Maybe if you give it like 10 or 15 more years, but it depends on, like I said, money drives the sport. Yeah. We all know, Premier League, whatever sport, money drives the sport. Yep. If you got the money, you can build it, but if you ain't got the foundation for the people, it's never going to work.
It's like you just buy everything. I think for me, it won't be a top league unless it can have like a youth system.
Yeah.
Because you can't,
100%.
You're just going to have to keep buying players every single time. Like, the transfers are crazy. I don't know if you've...
Oh, mate,
I know you was mentioning some to me, but it's like 21-year-olds going 26. Coffee, at the beginning, you're there like, 30 plus. You can understand money. You just want to go out there, live the rest of your career out there and live clean, really. But, like, Ruben Neves going, who's a quality player.
Yeah.
Prime as well.
Prime, like, 26. Like, he's literally... Like, that, I would say that's, like, probably the most prime. Do you know what I mean? Like,
even Milinkovic as well. He's 28. Do you know what I mean? Mitrovic,
I feel like what you were alluding to with the top 5 clubs in Europe is it's like there's a difference between the quality of the league in terms of the players that you've got in, and then like the prestige and the history that league has.
Yeah.
So they can spend the money to bring in all of these quality players, but there's so much more history within like the top 5 leagues in Europe.
Yeah, you're never going to get
been there
that.
for so long. Like the Premier League, Bundesliga, they're all
Serie
steeped
A.
in history and you know their own narratives within that. That it's a similar thing with PSG. That they can come in and moneyball it, and like you know they storm their league every year. They're always in Champions League, but they're like a 20-year-old club, and I think that definitely takes away from the prestige that the league is going to have.
Rivalries, stuff like that.
Yeah,
like,
100%.
like you take back like even like Man United, Barcelona's, Arsenal, like playing like Italian teams. Like there's so much history in them kind of games. Like you won't get that from like Al
Ali or
El Nezaz playing Arsenal. Like, that's
Yeah.
just it's nothing. There's no you know what I mean. Be the first time the teams play.
But that's the thing, though. It's kind of hard because, like, with sports, especially nowadays with sports, to build a rivalry, it's tough.
Yeah.
Because when you think about it, like, you can go to like other sports where I think about like the NBA. It's very tough to kind of formulate like rivals. The only ones like in the NBA, Boston Celtics versus Lakers. That's historical kind of rivalries.
Exactly.
But if you're talking about like a league that's only been in existence for a short period of time,
There's nothing.
it's hard because even in the Premier League, like it's so hard to, if you want to create a new rivalry, it's hard because you have to have that animosity, that constant fight against each other.
Yeah.
Something, one spark. Like when you think about it, Tottenham versus Chelsea, every single time they verse each other, there's a bust up one way or another.
Yeah.
And then, or there's some form of like controversial decision that might happen, like with the Mike Dean stuff that happened.
Yeah.
So it's kind of hard in that kind of case because, like, even when I think about like you think about the MLS being the league, the way in which they've kind of, I think even for them, they're never going to be in the heights, but the way in which they've kind of built as a country as well, because like the USA getting better at football, though people might not necessarily see it, they're slowly getting better at football. They're growing as a as a youth kind of perspective, and they only allow, I think, 3 foreign players from outside the country to come in at a time, basically.
Yeah.
So it's basically a whole bunch of either Americans, Mexican, or Canadians basically playing within the league.
I didn't know that.
And so that's the only way in which they can build, and those young guys get to grow. And a lot of them have been leaving to go to now big Premier League teams.
Yeah.
So, or
Well, there's that David, isn't there, from there, who's
Jonathan.
Canadian.
Jonathan, he's
Goes for
good.
Lille. Yeah.
Way? Is Way's just moved from there?
yeah.
Yeah,
And then what?
Timothy
Pulisic
Way
is
or
still
something,
now
right?
gone to AC Milan.
George Way is the Ballon d'Or.
Yeah.
That's his
That's
dad.
his dad.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's what I'm saying. I get what you mean. It's like, I think until there's rich history behind the things, you're never going to be top 5.
Yeah.
Like, you might be on views and all that stuff, but you're never going to build rivalries. Like, Italian leagues going back, Juventus versus, all the big top teams there. I know they won it for quite a long time, but obviously Inter coming back, all these Napolis, so on. Yeah. Obviously AC Milan and Inter sharing a stadium, that's like such a big rivalry. You're not going to get that in Saudi, El Zanaz or whatever playing some other team, because, it's just not there, is it?
No.
I mean, it's good for like revenue because there's so many people watching and whatnot. But
Yeah.
like when it comes to actual football, like it's exactly like what you were saying about the NBA. Like when I'm watching it, it's just not. It's just the way that we are. Like when we watch football, it's just like there's nothing else like it in the world. Like, do you know what I mean? Even like when you I saw Ziyech getting announced for Galatasaray.
That was crazy.
It was like in the stadium, and I was like, only in football that shit happens.
It was like God. He literally stood up on that little platform and was like this, and everybody was going crazy. It just shows like he's not that good.
It's like the Real Madrid Barcelona entrances when you get signed and they come up through the stadium. You've got everybody there. A few kicky uppies might mess up a bit.
But that's the thing with. I think that's why I'm so intrigued by it, because we talk about those entrances and the way Neymar came out. I swear they got like planes in the sky and it was nighttime. It looked insane. But at the same time, it's like, they've got all the money in the world because the amount they've been spending this season is a joke. But
it's just crazy because I've never seen that in Prem, do you? Like, you never imagine like Declan Rice being signed for Arsenal and then he comes out in some smoke darts doing kick your piece. They're like, bro, get on with the game, like.
Well, it's a difference in culture, I think, as well. Because if British culture is a lot more low key, we're trying to keep it kind of simple. Like we'll put a video of you and then maybe besides like Burnley with all their have you seen it? With Burnley, it's mainly we're on the more the social media kind of aspect rather than kind of like the big showy kind of which again to each their own really. But
I think we should, bro.
I think it's money it goes again though, because obviously they've got money Saudi just to do anything, so they can announce players with private jets for just one person. Like Neymar flew in that Boeing.
Literally.
See that it was like 150 seated plane or more than that. Had like a top deck.
Just Neymar.
Just him.
And then the top comment was like, "I'm so glad I washed out my ready meal."
I was crying. It was literally that I washed my ready meal.
I'm so glad I washed
saving the world, and he's just going around
while he's playing on a Boeing 747 on
for
his
one.
own.
For one man.
Yeah. I mean, it's that picture for me that really, it's that kind of like, he's walking through like he's almost parting the Red Sea. And I think that's also at the same time, it's like, damn, that's for one player. Like, I'm intrigued to see how it is. And obviously, when Ronaldo went, he was like, this will be one of the biggest leagues. At first, I was like, oh, shut up, bro. You're just upset about United. But ultimately, it's like, they could. It could actually happen.
It depends. It depends though on what you mean by biggest leagues. Are we talking biggest leagues in terms of the way in which football is played, or biggest leagues in terms of as an entertainment kind of aspect?
I think both. I think players involved as well.
The entertainment as a latter, but ultimately the traction they will start to get. It's like it's free advertising at the time, because the amount of people are talking about it. Even the fact when they're just in like common knowledge now, like with the Mbappe saga, and they were like, nah, bun it, we're going to pay you like 400 mil. People remember that now, do you know what I'm saying?
Even that like on Instagram and stuff, I'll have football accounts that I follow that will now just post the results of like Saudi League games.
Just random,
They've drawn like 2-2 and it's, I don't know whether it's the gatekeeper in me, but it's I'm so far removed from that. Even if it is
I wouldn't check it.
I don't have any, I'm not... Like
what Ronaldo's done,
exactly.
So, there's definitely a disparity between that. But I think Saudi Arabia as a people, there was like a journalist who went over when Newcastle came over there, because obviously we're owned by them, but he was saying that the people are like have much more of a footballing culture than the people in Qatar did. And the problem with the World Cup was everyone was like, oh, it doesn't even, everything felt a bit fake. But people in Saudi Arabia really care about the football. So I think for them, great. And, you know, they get to have all of the stars and stuff, so they can be all hyped. But I think for us, it's just so far removed, different time zones and stuff. It's also sticky if they go into Champions League. Like, what are you gonna do? You're saying that mid-season, you're gonna in like October, you're gonna go all the way to Saudi Arabia for like
a game.
Away leg.
For a game,
that is
coming back for Friday's game.
Rainy day, Saudi Arabia.
Jesus, no.
Tuesday night.
Definitely something. Yeah, they've got the money and they could be like, we'll fly everybody out, but
the Europe
you've got
aspect,
you've got your home league to focus on as well, and the Champions League, and
it's the aspect of the Champions League is in Europe. So Europe is literally probably the max 3-hour flight, 4-hour flight.
You hear how much Pep complains about that as well. Like, understandably, that messes up their whole training week. That like,
it's recovery.
It's a real thing to factor in just going to like Leipzig for the weekend. So,
exactly. It's crazy as well because it's like it's probably the last point, but like going off it, it's like I remember. I don't know if you saw the video of Fabinho from the Liverpool player. Is it Fabinho?
Yeah. You're right.
What,
is it Fabinho? He's bold.
Yeah, Fabinho.
He was walking down the tunnel like after the game, and a fan stopped him and literally was there like, "Oh, great game." Gave him a Rolex. Gave him a Rolex for playing good. He got man of the match, and he got a Rolex by a fan. And
he was like,
a fan.
Are you sure? And he was like, take it.
Bro,
take it.
If you're like a Premier League player coming out like Kennel with Road,
right?
I could do with a Rolex. I could do with a Casio, right? With a Rolex.
And you just got a fan giving him a Casio,
a cigarette,
gold plate, a cigarette, Coke can, and a Casio.
Packet of crisps.
Lucky getting a pocket pie or something, man.
Georgie Best, shut up. Georgie Best.
6-pack of fucking Carling.
6-pack of Carling and a blem. And he'd get you a hat.
That's the Premier League way.
That was back then.
Blem, cigarettes and a blem.
My God.
But yeah, it's crazy. But yeah, I mean, to finish on that question, I think, I personally think yes and no at the same time. I think it depends how it progresses. I think it depends what players they bring in now, because I think they made some great signings like Ronaldo to begin with. Then they've got obviously Neves, they've got obviously Neymar now. Mane, Mitrovic coming now. Mendy,
Musa Dembele, Hendrick,
all of them.
Mahrez,
these are players.
Malcolm, Alex Telles. I mean Hendo.
Do you know what I mean?
Maximan as well.
Maximan. All these players who can walk into all Premier League teams,
Firmino,
even Europe. Some of these Europe teams they'll be able to walk straight into. Jota from Celtic. He's like 22. That's quality and it's not like these players have just Saudi and that's it. They have other teams in the Europe that they're choosing over. Obviously, a lot of them are just doing it for the money. And I heard,
or religious reasons.
I remember Koulibaly was talking about obviously being Muslim anyway. And also him saying that the money he earns can just be put all back into his country. Which I understand that. And then Mane literally all his salary basically goes back home, doesn't he? He does so much for the schools and that. And like Mendy drives a blooming Mini. Not Mendy. Kante drives a Mini, and
I was like,
he'll give
Mendy in a Mini
and stuff like that. Like
he could have probably started for Arsenal if he can.
Yeah, you know he could start for most teams now. But crazy,
crazy. Loves football, man.
He just loves to play.
He just wants to press.
Yeah,
just
with a smile on his face.
You seen that meme when he's there like, "Hello, it's match day," like that. You know what I'm saying?
No.
Like the most awkward video ever. He's just like, "Hello, it's match day," like that, and he's literally like that in the camera. It's just so joke. He just loves playing football.
Like, go out and man mark this guy, okay?
Innit? Trust me.
And then he goes home in a Mini.
Yeah.
Respect.
Literally just played man of the match in the Champions League final against. I don't know who they played. Who did they play? Real Madrid wasn't it?
Man City.
Won. Got man of the match. Drive home in a Mini.
just saying, Havertz scored in that game, so
remember that.
Won them the Champions League.
Yeah, we'll get on to. We'll get on. Yeah. Don't go anywhere. Don't go anywhere.
You go somewhere.
Shut up.
Talking about that, moving to our next, obviously, as we said, football. This is gonna be all about predictions now. So
get ready.
We'll start off with the Premier League table prediction, and what we'll do is we'll go one by one, and we'll say our top 8. And then we can discuss why and move from there, and then we'll go from there. So
Yeah.
I'm happy to start.
Oh, yeah,
I'm happy to start. I'm happy to start. So, I've gone bold.
Are you going from 8th to 1st?
No, I'll go first.
Yeah. It's not like X Factor, innit?
And first, I had to go with my Arsenal. I had to. I couldn't put Man City first. I couldn't put Man City first. So I put Arsenal first, Man City second. I got Newcastle third because I think they'll do it again. and I've gone Liverpool 4th.
Okay.
And then I've gone Man United 5th. I've gone Brighton 6th, Chelsea 7th, and I've even put Aston Villa at 8th.
So no,
I think Spurs won't get in the top.
no West Ham either.
I don't
West
think
Ham.
Harry
West
Kane
Ham
effect
will.
is that bad?
I just feel like it will, yeah. I feel like it will.
That's
They might play
crazy.
better without Harry Kane.
We'll see, but I don't think they'll play better than the other teams I've put above them.
Okay,
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yourself, man?
Well, it pains me to say this actually every time. But first, I put City.
Like, thank God.
Like no, like
I thought you were gonna say United, bro.
no. It pains me to say United.
Yeah, because
Open your ears. Open your ears. Like how? Yeah. Anyway,
Go.
first I said City. Second place, United.
That's brilliant.
Third, Arsenal. Yeah. Fourth, I went for a little curveball here. I went for Villa. Like if they really locked down,
Fourth?
I said fourth, maybe.
This guy's watched football for a year.
Yeah, watch it. Year and a half.
It's
Nah,
out. The
it's like-
secret's out.
The secrets. Emery. Good evening.
Villa 4th, man. Okay.
Fifth, I went for Liverpool.
Okay.
Sixth, I went for Newcastle actually.
Okay.
Still you. Get
Well,
in.
you win the Champions
Yeah. Seventh, I then went for Chelsea.
Okay.
And then eighth, Tottenham. Maybe. It was between them and West Ham. Do you know what I mean? So yeah.
I would say Arsenal first, and then Man City, Newcastle third, West Ham fourth.
Oh.
Yeah, I think so. After winning the Europa League, I feel like was it Europa
Conference. Yeah. Really.
I feel like,
yeah.
and also they've made some good signings.
Yeah,
They're
true.
a good squad. I went for Liverpool 5th, and then United 6th.
You feel good saying that, don't you? Six.
And then I think Brighton.
Yeah.
Yeah, give Brighton a chance at 7th, and I would say Spurs 8th.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So I've gone, obviously, Man City first.
Why is that?
It's just Pep in it. Arsenal second.
Okay.
Newcastle third. I think this maybe is my curveball, but I'm going to put Spurs fourth.
Okay.
I think Spurs
There's always a
have
wild
looked-
card.
I think they've looked really good. I mean, I know it's only been a couple of games,
but
but they've looked really good. And also maybe the opposite. Sometimes when you've got,
Good start.
such important players like Harry Kane, getting rid of them, fresh start. United 5th, Brighton 6th, Liverpool 7th, and then Villa 8th.
Yeah.
Hear that.
I mean, it was close last year. I was an Arsenal fan, we were close. But I still think City are going to probably win the league. I got Arsenal second. I have Liverpool third.
Okay.
I've got Man United 4th, Newcastle 5th, Brighton 6th,
Okay.
Chelsea 7th, and then I think I've got Tottenham 8th. I still think that despite everything, I still think Tottenham, in pain to say, I think they've got an all right team. I think Maddison has helped a ton.
He has.
Yeah.
He's actually revitalised the team.
He's
Scored
revitalised the
yesterday.
team. And
He works in that team as well.
And he
man.
just
So
he
good.
loves to work, which is why it's annoying to say. But without that man, Harry Kane ain't going to finish in top 4 again. So
Yes. I mean, out of all that, the one question I have to ask: Man United second.
Yeah,
Bro,
bro.
that's
Yeah,
crazy.
you need to talk to me about that.
Well, I mean, at the same time, I'm like, we clutch at straws sometimes. A lot of these last few seasons since Fergie, I think the main thing is, I feel if we put in some groundwork and if we actually like just fucking get our fingers out of our, I feel we can surprise a lot of people. Obviously, we get a lot of flack every single season. We're not making great summer transfer signings at all.
We'll get into that.
Exactly. But I don't know. I think when we always get that, there's always a moment we get like, we just get infused with morale about being like a Red Devil or whatever. And when that happens, we're on. But this season, it's still 50-50. Like even putting them second, I was like, yeah, this is a bit controversial because, bro, we bought Mason Mount. He's not going to change the team. Do you know what I mean?
I hear you.
Yeah, Casemiro.
Will you put them second?
Yeah. I still put them second. Yeah, but I still said I'm 50-50. bro.
right, it's the VAR calls.
Yeah,
that puts
exactly.
him second.
Yeah, exactly. Mike Dean, yeah, love. But yeah, no, I think that's why I'm like I'm still not fully certain on it because obviously you guys had a great season, the last one, but yeah, just got to hope and dream in it.
Yeah, I mean, I'm ballsy putting Arsenal first. I just have to back them.
Yeah, do you know what I mean? Why? Yeah,
I think it will go. Obviously, we've lost a really key part of our team with Timber going. I think that was one of the key things that would help us with that support on the right for Saka, because obviously now we missed that with Partey playing there. He just doesn't do what Timber would have done, which is really disappointing because I think Timber would probably be one of the best signings for Arsenal in a long time. For such cheap as well, so it's disappointing that he's not going to.
How much was he?
Like 35 mil.
Yeah,
30 mil, which is calm. So I am ballsy putting them there, but I have to back him. I think if we get someone to replace him, someone quality like Pavard, someone like that, even like Tyler, what's his name? Tyler Peters. Is it Tyler Peters?
You mean the guy?
Kyle Walker Peters. Yeah. If we get him, I think that's a good.
I don't want no ex-Spurs on the team. Sorry, man.
Spurs, no
Spurs,
Spurs.
nah, man.
But we just
Sol
need someone.
Campbell's the ex-Spurs. I'll take, man. But
In it. But Pavard, we've got Pavard. He's quality or across the whole back line. But yeah, I mean, I agree with that. I think City and Arsenal will go toe to toe. You can't really tell because I mean, we obviously dropped points yesterday, and we did that to the end of the season last time. So I think it just depends. I'm glad we're dropping points early on because we had such a good start last season. So I don't know. I think it's going to be a weird one because you've got Brighton winning, your West Ham winning, you've got all bogey teams. Newcastle looked strong. Newcastle probably the only team who look. I know they lost to Man City, but they gave him a game.
Yeah.
And 1-0 at the Etihad.
You can't. Yeah, you can't complain. Quieted Haaland. Yeah, do you know what I mean? Quiet Haaland and. Yeah, I mean, I agree. I think I'm in a good state with everybody and where I've got the teams. I think first and second will always depend.
Yeah.
But I feel like the teams I've got in them positions will be where they're at.
I just can't see City dropping it enough just because even though what De Bruyne is out for about 3 to 4 months, it's like
they've got
as the machine. They're just a machine. They just be like, cool, Bernardo Silva, we just need you to play a little bit better. We need Grealish. We need you to play a little bit better. Foden, we need you to just do a little bit more. Haaland, just keep on being a Terminator that you are and just destroy. And that's it.
Well,
and then what they got, Doku coming in, basically. Rodri's still playing as it is. They've
got
literally
centre back as well.
He's going to probably be the best centre back in the world in a few years. Literally, they basically are able to just replace and improve. And I think what Pep said, I think some time ago, is like every 2 or 3 seasons, you have to change the people that you have in your rotation because it gets stale, it gets old, and you have to keep on moving on. And that's the tough things about being a manager. But that's the reason why City constantly keep on going forward.
And I think that's why teams just don't. I think that's why Arsenal only just now are getting into that flow. We've got rid of a bit of the dead wood. We're getting some good players in. We've got a good manager. We've got a good atmosphere. Like we are doing that recycle thing.
How do you feel about your depth or Arsenal's depth?
It depends.
That's the thing City have over everyone is like
the
how
depth.
They can attack on.
Yeah, exactly. The depth in midfield and striker in and attack. 50-50. I just think we just need a quality striker. I think if we got someone like Osimhen or someone like that, it would complete our team. But that's just not going to happen.
You guys are going to get like Joao Felix.
Yeah, probably. They're going to get Tony. They're going to get Tony in. That's probably Tony. Yeah, they're going to bid 80 mil and get Tony in January.
I would hope so because I think he'd be good.
Yeah, I'll take Ivan Tony.
Yeah, he suits our play.
Yeah, man.
And he can build up. Like Nketiah's just there. Do you know what I mean? He doesn't really win the ball like Jesus does and so on. Like if you could put Jesus and Nketiah together, that'd be perfect striker for us.
I feel like unfortunately as well, like a lot of the chances that you create when Nketiah's on the pitch, like all fall to him. So chances end up like Jesus is so versatile, can drop. He's like really good at involving Saka and Martinelli. That sometimes like Nketiah inadvertently hogs all the chances, but if he's not putting them away.
Yeah,
then you're just missing chances throughout the game, and you get punished for that.
It'd be interesting to see who he plays now that we've got we've got obviously up front with kind of now Jesus being fit. It'd be interesting to see what type of formation he plays. Especially with Zivchenko coming back now as well. It'd be interesting to see what type of formation he puts out, who he puts at what positions. Does Partey get dropped? Does Kai Havertz get dropped? Who do we have strike? Do you know what I mean? It's really interesting.
I think he's trying to find it again. He's trying to find what works best, basically. And then also because obviously with Champions League coming, which is the only reason for why I didn't put Newcastle in the top 4. With Champions League coming now, You've got those many games where we're gonna be traveling out, and they're gonna be tough games. Every game's a tough game in the Champions League. There's no easy game in the Champions League, even if you're versing Slavia Prague or something like that.
And the seeds, I don't know what seed we're gonna be.
Exactly. There's no, but like we might get lucky basically because of historical value. They do happen, but I just think in terms of trying to find the right squad for the team, it's gonna take at least a good month or two basically to find it. It's Arsenal's best time was basically from post-August to September all the way on to January. That was the best period of time. But also we got to remember we had Europa League football. We didn't really care about it, and that's why we got knocked out. And so now we got Champions League, which you actually care about. It's going to be a lot more squad depth is going to be needed. We've got to go forward. The only reason why City will not win the league is because they don't have the hunger in the fire, and just because they don't won the treble last season. There's only hunger in the fire, and Haaland gets injured for a sustained period of time. That's the only reason why. Yeah. Otherwise, I can't see it.
Yeah. I feel like morale and like fans have such a big part to do with it, and that's why for me, like, I think Arsenal and Newcastle, like, we have so much buzz around our club with our fans and like the confidence in our players. Like for me, like this summer, like watching the transfers happen, like I've never been so excited. I remember there was that one summer where we signed like Petr Cech only. Like I've seen some summers go by where we've done nothing, or we signed.
What was that player with the broken back?
Where Kim Kallstrom. Like, we've signed some shocking players. Whereas
Andreas
like, you know what I mean? Whereas this time it was like we're going in, we're buying the best players in our league, best players in the world, and like there's just all this buzz that makes me feel like regardless if we're in the Champions League or whatnot, when your fans are behind you, like I don't think it's the same with United and Chelsea and stuff. People are a bit more skeptical. Yeah, there's detachment. Whereas he came in and he changed the whole culture of the club. Like you know what I mean? Like Eddie Howe's transformed the club.
And took out the snakes as well. Like he got rid of a lot of players who were just toxic for the club.
Do you know what I mean? Like he was literally like Aubameyang's not playing and he was club captain. Like which is so mad, but then it's also like a statement of intent from the manager.
Like I don't want this team to be one player.
It's 100% discipline.
No one's bigger.
That's the thing. It was the transfer policy is if they don't want to come to Arsenal or if they're unsure, we won't sign them. They have to be sure to come, otherwise they're not going. Whereas like when I guess with Chelsea, it's new owner syndrome. You have the club in your hands. It's your new toy. Let's just spend a bunch of money and see what happens, basically. And especially when he is the chairman and then basically like the director of what's going on. You need to delegate the power to the other people. Let them do the stuff, basically. Calm it down. Be an Abramovich, sit in the back, open up the checkbook, let everybody else, the people who know what they're doing, do the job. Whereas that's why it's like with Newcastle, you've got the guys in who are literally in the establishment to basically feed out, which is why you're making these signings that are actually elevating the team. You're not getting like the world beaters, but you're getting the guys who are like in the top squads who are making a name for themselves.
And work well.
Speaking of that's actually because we're talking about like I think the next one was best transfer of the season. I was really looking at Sandro Tonali, and the fact you guys even got him is actually insane. And I think for me, he will be an underdog, like a dark horse in it, because he's such a good player, and especially at the level you guys are at and wanting to get to, I'm like that's such a good boost to the team.
It's a statement, isn't it?
That's my best player of the season, honestly. I think he's going to be mint for you guys.
Yeah, I had Tonali down for transfer of the season, but then just as we were recording this, I was thinking, did you sign Rice this summer?
Yeah.
That could be. I think maybe it would be one of them two.
Yeah, that's what I feel.
But I think it also just shows how vital it is. Having a good midfield.
Summer of midfield.
You need midfielders. You need like engines, but they have to be able to do so much. Loads of responsibility. But yeah, Sandro Tonali definitely could.
Anyone going to say Cancelo?
Yeah, who sent him to Spoons?
Probably Matt Ritchie.
That video was legendary.
You sent him to... I haven't seen it.
So basically, so a Newcastle fan was in Wetherspoons and saw like a reserved sign and it said Tonali. And he was like, okay. So he waited around a little bit and Tonali came up. Somebody literally must have told him that Wetherspoons was like
one of the best restaurants in the UK.
And he went.
And he's rocking up ordering a Carly.
Prego. He's got an M still.
He's gone from Milan to Spoons.
Camden Hills.
But to move on to kind of predictions and obviously Premier League with the table in mind. I mean, bottom three for me.
Oh yes,
Bottom three. I mean, I've gone 18th Everton. because I think they'll struggle massively. I just think they're just Wolves 19th again. I think yes, they're gonna have. They look well in some games, but I still think they'll just massively struggle. And I think Luton are on record for being beaten in every game. I just don't think they're. Yeah. They have some good chances against Chelsea the other night, but they did just get a bit outplayed. I just don't think they're going to be. I think they'll win a couple of games against. I think they might do one upset against a team. Yeah. But I don't think they're going to do it. So I put them.
That's an Arsenal loss coming in.
Yeah. Let's hope not. I put them 20th.
I would say it was Wolves, Everton, and then Luton. Yeah. Because it's like, hey, I love Luton Stadium, going through someone's backyard. Yeah. But it's like it's a big jump from the Championship then to the Premier League. It's like, especially with a team like that, you get a massive boost in terms of income and sponsorship. But it's the Premier League. It's arguably the best league in the world now. Do you know what I mean? Those are my three, definitely.
I'm gonna say Everton, Luton, and I don't know about a third team. I won't lie. The Premier League is so unpredictable, and I would say Wolves, but I really like Wolves. I think they got good mentality. Like, I don't know my third team, but I think Luton are going down, and Everton. I just don't really like Everton. Yeah.
So they've survived too many times.
They've been up the top flight for too long.
Sean Dyche.
Yeah, Sean Dyche. And it's I think it's like the third time, isn't it? Yeah, like being in the bottom, fighting in the bottom for the past 3 seasons or something. So, I think they should go.
Get them out. Jeez.
I had Sheffield United 18th.
Yes.
I'm not convinced by them. And then Everton. And then Luton. Echo everyone's thoughts. Everton. The thing with Everton is, like, for the past 2 seasons, they've avoided relegation on the last game of the season. And they've pitch invaded. Which is like, I think it's not a good habit to have. That can't be what you're basing a successful season on. But then also, it's game week 3. They've lost 1-0 to Wolves, and they're booing. Like, as a fan base, they're booing already. So I just think very toxic club. Entitled as well. I think they're a club opposite of sometimes you can say the top 6 teams are entitled, but I think Everton genuinely believe they just have this like divine right to be in the Premier League. And they keep clinging on.
They've been on there the exact same amount of time. They've the only team other than Arsenal never been relegated from the Premier League.
And also like
with time basically.
With what you were saying as well, like Leicester got relegated last season. Like
humbling
quality team. The Championship honestly looks more stacked.
Like
the top teams in the Championship look more stacked than like the bottom 6 teams in the Prem at the minute.
I've got Luton going down, Sheffield United, and I'm going to be the odd one out and not say Everton. I'm going to actually say Bournemouth. The only reason for why I'm going to not say Everton is because if Everton go down, they will legitimately go bankrupt because they have the new stadium coming in, which they have not fully paid, and they're living off their Premier League money. Ooh, so if they go down, they will probably be bankrupt. So they have to stay in the Premier League.
You know they've talked to all the players.
So they have to stay. If you go down, it's bankrupt. And
we can't promise anything.
Can't
promise your job.
You know that weekly wage. Forget about it.
Be sold.
It will be a free fall if they go down. They will go seriously down from there. We're looking at probably another Wimbledon. We're looking at all of them. It's that bad.
Kind of Bolton as well.
Yeah, but I didn't put Sheffield in because I think they will survive. I think Burnley, a team who's come up, I think will just survive as well. They've got quality team, quality manager, really good.
It's just for Burnley. It's the only problem would be is do they have another style to play because if they're coming out, they're playing really great football, but do they have another style to play when they're versing these top teams? That basically like against City. Yeah, when they were coming out, they're really, really, really aggressive, really, really there, but City just tore them apart. And they didn't, and City didn't even play well, and they tore them apart.
And then also on a 90-minute scale, it's like it's great when they do it in the first half, obviously, but then it's like, can you prolong that for the one game? But then can you do that 3 times in a week? Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So
we'll see. We'll see. But talking about obviously best transfers and stuff like that, I mean, mine has to be Declan Rice. I think not even just being biased for Arsenal. I think he's a catalytic signing for us. You know, one of them top players. Like we need him.
CDM,
I think he brings more to his game than we need as well. Like we've been missing someone who can track back, who can tackle, who can shoot, who can do all that midfield role. Like if you watch some of his games, he's literally from box to box, and I don't think Xhaka was that, and that's what we missed out for so long, and I think he would just add so much more to our game, and that's why I feel like he's our best. I would have said Timber. Personally, I would have had to go for Timber, but I can't now because he's just not going to play. So it has to be Declan Rice for me. That's my signing. What you know?
Oh yeah,
He said it.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah.
I'm going with
Tonali,
Tonali.
yeah.
Like,
I agree with that.
it's actually I think watching him from Syria and then like seeing
held
his
down AC
development.
Milan.
Yeah, like I've been watching him for years, and then it's just like now he's in the Premier League with Newcastle, and then his first goal was ridiculous. You know what I mean? That energy he brought to the stadium, I was like, yeah, man, that's a Tonali effect, lad.
That's what I'm saying.
100%.
I think he's quality. Do you know?
I would say Declan Rice as well. Like for me, I think when we signed him, I've just never been so buzzed. Like genuinely to be like, this guy was probably one of the best players in the Premier League, and he chose to come to Arsenal.
And you broke the transfer record.
Broke the transfer record, but then like also like there was this one interview, and then they were like saying, "Oh, you got the highest price tag, all of this," and he was literally just like, "I just love football, man." He was like, "I just love football," and like sometimes you need, when there's so much going on, like because people are stars now, which is great. You need to know how to handle media, all this, but when you just have a player who just loves football and just loves what he does, like he's gonna bring out the best. And he's so calm.
It's not money oriented.
Do you know what I mean? Like I see him guiding players already. Like go over there, go do this. Like he's just there to play football, and like, and he's already like, I'm learning so much, which I'm so fascinated by, because now he's come and he's like, Arteta is genuinely a genius, and he's like, I'm already learning. Like you want people to constantly keep learning and developing their skill set constantly.
Of course.
And that's what he's doing, and he's setting an example probably. So it's like when Liverpool signed Van Dijk, and like it just went up by a level, because it was like, look at the caliber we've brought in. And I think that's the same hopefully for our team.
I agree.
It's like you sign a player where it's like boom, it's a statement of intent. And everyone just picks up.
And it's only game week 3. Like his understanding tactically of what Arteta's going to want is only going to get better as the season goes on. So I think like he's not even even broken into his stride, I don't think, in terms of
when he
in terms
scores
of
his
what you're
first
gonna
goal.
see from him.
When he's that roof in the Emirates is going to come off like
It definitely changes everything. Obviously Tonali, I think like he wasn't even someone I was expecting goals out of. I don't know why. I think just so for him to get 1 goal at least
already,
it was really nice. Like that attacking, because I think a big thing in I was also torn, being biased. I was thinking maybe Harvey Barnes could be a signing of the season, because I think he's a very, you know, the joke is if he had like a Brazilian name, like, you know, Harvaldinho or something, everyone would be losing their minds over him. But his stats,
is actually
Harvaldinho.
If you know about Harvaldinho, overall 92.
Sign him on career mode.
Buddy manager.
I love that.
But then what's it, Wonder Kids?
Like, I think his stats are class, like for Premier League wingers and stuff. He is just goals. A really bitter Leicester fan was on a podcast being like, "Oh yeah, all Harvey Barnes is going to give you is goals or assists." I was like, "Well,
what else do you need?
I'm really glad we signed him.
I mean,
we could do with some of them."
Thank you. That's what we want. But to touch on that, I think I agree as well, because I think for Harvey Barnes, that's a great signing for him, because he's never going to get any better than Newcastle. Like no offense to him, but he's a quality player, but he's never going to get any better than Newcastle. And I don't think Newcastle are at a great stage of where he'll be able to play nearly every game. He's got Champions League. This is a perfect signing for him, because he's not going to go to Arsenal, Man United or Chelsea, which is unfair really for him because he's so good. But that's just a reality, and I think that's the best signing for him and for Newcastle. So,
and I think one prospect for signing for Newcastle is, it's like, yes, okay, you're not at an Arsenal, or you're not at Man United or a Man City, but the fan base we have will immortalise you if you are like
100%.
If you are that's like what Bruno Guimaraes is really about. It's like, I want to be in the history of this club, because
what player
that's something that's definitely something special we offer.
I mean, I do agree. It's transfer window of midfielders. Like Declan would probably be amazing. He's not my pick. Timber probably would have been my pick. I would give a shout out to McAllister for Liverpool. I think he's been class there for the first few games. I think he's helped as well.
Didn't he?
Got rescinded as well.
10 points.
He's been class for them. He's exactly, I think, what they've needed. But I'm gonna go with Tonali as well. Seeing him at Sassuolo, then move to Milan, and him being just like for me, it was like when we saw that AC Milan won the league, and you see him crying there. Yeah. And then, I mean, I know he didn't want to go and leave AC Milan, but even just coming to Newcastle, it's basically trading one crazy fan base to another, where they will generally love you for the rest of your life. Yeah. If you're there, you show heart and you're passionate, they'll show you for the rest of your life, and that's who he is as a person. Yeah. And as a player, I mean, I know there's the whole video of him basically and his, I think, girlfriend going to the gym in Newcastle. and she was like, "Oh, the gym is very nice," and he was like, "It's not as big as Milan." But you know, I think for him, it's like him just being a player who can basically do whatever you want in the midfield. Like quality. He's not of the Declan Rice. He's not going to be of like even like McAllister. I think because the only reason why I say McAllister, they bought him for 30 mils from Brighton. It was absolute bargain of a price. But he's in that kind of mold, and he's only 23 as well. So he's going to keep on getting better and grow. And then just to add that with Bruno, you've kind of just got that midfield that you can just push them forward. Just hopefully City don't try and take one of your guys like they're trying to do now. So,
but yeah, as I think as well, it's such a statement signing from Newcastle. Yeah, I think that's another thing I like about it. Is like, look who we can get now. Like, look at the players we've got. Like, I really like that Isaac. Like, they're one of my favourite signings. That is. I know this is not this season, but even last season, I just think he's such a quality striker. I really wish Arsenal got him because we were heavily linked with him. He would be, and he would have perfectly fit in our team again. Yeah, exactly.
Instead,
but it's one of them ones, isn't it? I feel like
fog on the time.
Talking about transfers, I mean, we have to go back to the flop, obviously.
Oh yeah, get ready.
I mean, I think you already know what it's going to be.
What, Havertz? Oh, sorry.
No, see, I'm torn. Sorry. I'm torn as an Arsenal fan with Havertz or another one, but I think Havertz will give the game that people won't see. Like, he won't be our top goals, he won't be our top assist, he'll be more of the side, but I think it's got to have to be Mason Mount. Not even because I hate Man United.
No, it is. You do.
I just think he had a very poor season with Chelsea last season, and he's come to another. Not saying you're all a poor team.
No, we're still rebuilding.
But like you're still rebuilding. And I don't think Mason Mount fits your aspect of what you need. In a way as well. And I just think him and Casemiro and McTominay. I don't know whoever. Bruno probably in there. They just look lost. Like it's just But that's mine. Mason Mount has to be. And my reasoning is just because I just don't think he had a good season last season. I don't think you can come into a team that's struggling and you're just going to struggle again. Do you know what I mean?
I don't think he's worth that much. Yeah. Like, in all honesty.
7 number as well. I think that's brazy, giving him the 7.
Yeah, like, I'm also like, that's the issue with that number now, especially being at United. It's like, it's the curse of a 7. And like, it's like whoever picks the kit number, they're like, yeah, he'll be great for that. It's like, yeah, but that used to be such a hallowed number. And now it's like, giving it to Mount, Di Maria, like, all these names that have flopped. Heavily. And that's why So I do get that. My flop was, in all honesty, I think I was joking about it, but I just don't understand what Havertz will do to your team, in all honesty. And I think Kai Havertz, he was great. Obviously, everyone keeps talking about Champions League winner, whatever. But for you guys, like you said, you need more of a striker rather than like what he plays and what he gives to your team. I don't think that's what you need right now. No, you need an out-and-out striker, like a lot of us. Do you know what I'm saying?
And I think the thing with Havertz as well is like we've not seen the Havertz we knew in Germany. Do you know what I mean?
It's different. The way that they're playing him in Germany was a little bit
completely different.
It's also because like he's a guy who works well as a presser. He's a pressing guy, which is in an Arsenal team, in retrospect, it works perfectly. But in the game of England, it doesn't necessarily, his game doesn't fully translate as much. I mean, he's going to basically go 4 games where he's great, then 2 games when he's bad. And more likely not, it's going to be the 2 games where he doesn't score, doesn't get an assist, and he gets a special clip where he passes the ball out of play, basically.
Flop, I'm going to say Højlund.
Yeah, fair.
Just because, like...
Played one season, 75 mil. That's like be a pro on like career mode.
Literally, my man had like, what was it, 12 goals?
9 goals. No, 9. Less than 10. And he played 37 games or something.
But I don't know. But I think the Premier League is just ruthless. And like, I just think he's going to...
If you're struggling to only scoring 9 goals in your league...
Do you know what I mean? Like, I don't know. But hey, I don't know. Like, I never want to say... But I'm also... I'm not worried, but I'm like, okay, I know with Havertz, it's like plan A, plan B, plan C. So it's like, we don't have a striker, he'll put him up front. If he needs some depth in midfield, he'll put him there. But then sometimes it's like, when you have too many options, like you don't have any end goal, or you don't have anything a purpose. And he can do all these things, but it's like, what does he really excel at? And sometimes I just see him sort of, I mean, it's only been like 3-4 games, but he just sort of just runs around and they have to tell him where to go sometimes. But I don't know. I want him to do so well because people are hating on him, especially Arsenal fans. Some Arsenal fans are like, what is he? Why?
Really?
I mean, 65 mil was a lot, so it's like,
I agree.
But again, it's not our money, so. But I don't know. I hope he does well, man. That's what I want. Yeah.
I feel like on that, the problem with the price tags nowadays, though, is they're just also inflated. And I think as well, football is so fickle that was it 75 mil? Could suddenly look like an absolute steal. If he comes in and has a class season, everyone's like, well, 75 mil. Probably like, he's probably worth 120 mil now, and everything just gets really unfairly for the players. Like, it's not Havertz didn't choose to be 65 mil.
100.
So that's like a really unfair thing to stick on
Put
people
on,
of like how much they are. Same problem with Caicedo and like breaking Rice's transfer fees. It can all go against you. But the sorry to keep getting on to United, but I had my flop of the season.
3 Arsenal fans
was,
in the room.
we'll just all get on to you. I had Onana. Onana down as flop of the season. Because
all your side is a flops, basically.
Yeah, like basically Mount Onana, Oiland. We got CDM.
We made 3.
We basically bought 2 CDMs. Amazing.
I'm not familiar with his game, to quote LeBron James. I don't feel like, even though it's only 3 game weeks in, I just feel like he's I would have said De Gea was like shaky, but this guy, like,
he's an outfield
should have been
player.
a 10 first game of the season against Wolves. Like,
God.
that's not like
that was
assured goalkeeping. Like, there's a recklessness. Even like the first goal against Nottingham. Like, obviously all the memes are of him like in a Formula 1 car, because it's like, what was your?
He was on the ground before.
I think stuff like that. I mean, again, you've got to settle in. All that stuff. It's only game week 3, but there's something that I'm just not convinced. I don't know what the situation was with De Gea, but also with Mount and Havertz. I think, again, they're so young, and I think especially for young players, confidence is key. Like, Mason Mount at Chelsea had a spell when he was electric. Kai Havertz under Tuchel for a period of time. You know what I mean? Like, performed in a Champions League final. So there's definitely aspects of their game that
there's
need
quality
to be nurtured, and I think,
Of course.
again, we could. I don't know what it's obviously predictions, but like, they could take off. By Christmas, you could be saying, it's a different team. I think it's just the system you're playing in. Like, Fernandes should be a 10. But at the minute, you've got like him and Mount as 8s, and then Casemiro's your CDM, and
it doesn't work that
maybe
well.
you need Mount out, McTominay in, and just let Fernandes do what he needs to do. Do you know what I mean?
Might just put Onana up front by the way.
Like Neuer, like that special Neuer card.
Oh yeah.
Striker.
He was
Shapeshifters. Sponsored.
I probably have to agree. I'm gonna go with Mount. I mean, I've been speaking about Mount for the whole week, to be honest. Actually, how I think he's probably an overrated English player. But to be honest, I'm kind of confused. The Onana one, I kind of understood it, but I'm also confused why you let De Gea go. Especially because didn't he have the most clean sheets last season?
He won the Golden Glove.
Yeah, so it's just like, so
he literally
like,
won the Golden Glove.
I don't really like. I know he's getting older as well, and he's been a bit shaky. I still would probably keep him. I'd still at least even because to rescind his contract and then basically be like, we'll just go. Basically, like if you at least signed him back for like another 2 years and then sold him off, I mean, fair. Like Real Madrid they were in need of a goalkeeper, you know what I mean?
But that's what I'm saying though, because at the same time when De Gea was here, everyone was like, "Oh, he's shit anyway." So it's like,
but that's the thing. He's
exactly. Not a lot.
And that's the thing though, which is like, it's the dumb thing I guess about football, where it's like he's literally got the most clean sheets out of everybody in last season.
Yes.
And that says something when Man United finished third.
Yeah.
And he's probably a big
Ramsdale
reason.
was having like
Big
the
reason
career.
for why
Exactly.
for why they finished third.
Of course.
And like obviously, he made mistakes. Every keeper does. Look, we got Ramsdale in goal, and so he makes mistakes.
Yeah.
But you got third mainly because of him. It's him and Rashford are the reasons for why Man United got third last
Literally
season.
carried us.
Yeah.
Then
They all carried there.
When Rashford got injured, then it was like
It went downhill.
Let's wait till next season.
And even still, it's like the biggest question for Rashford is where you're playing him, basically, at this point. But to go back to Mason Mount, I just think it's just like you got Casemiro, who it looks like he's on his last legs coming about, and then you've got no one who can play basically in the defensive side in that kind of case. Yeah. Fernandes doesn't have a defensive bone in his body.
Can't do it.
He's just straight go forward and go.
Obrigado.
Mason Mount is Mason Mount. He's got a mountain to climb. So
nice.
Good luck. I mean, like I said, I just think it's just that as English people, we overrate our English players as times. Yeah. I mean, if you signed Mason Mount for 30 mil, probably would have been fine. But
for
price
50,
tag, it goes against
50.
Price tag.
That's
what I'm saying. That's
price
why I
tag
looked
just
at
changes
it.
everything. Do you know what I mean?
He's not worth 50.
Nah.
If you're saying 30 mil, you're like, oh, it's a steal.
Yeah.
And you'd be happy with it. But we might not be
and it's
talking
also
about,
because he was on his last year in his contract too. So 50 mil on last year's contract.
Yeah, like, it feels like we've been shagged somewhere.
Yeah.
Like Todd Bowley or whatever his name is. He's like, suckers. Yeah. like,
suckers. Yeah. Then Man United, Red Devils.
Red Devils.
But yeah. No, I agree with all of these really. I think it's a mixture, isn't it?
Yeah.
Like, so, but yeah. Obviously, to go on to our next prediction, I think everybody's probably going to agree with this, and we're all probably going to say the same one: top goal scorer. And without Kane being there, I think we're all agreed.
Norwegian
Should we start on the count of three?
Yeah, 3,
Okay.
2, 1.
Alexander Isak.
Alexander Isak.
How you say it? What's Nkunku scoring? He's out for the rest of the season. Nkunku ain't scoring nothing. He's out for the rest of the season.
Who said Nkunku?
But think about it, bro.
Hospital fees.
Yeah, because I knew we were going to say Haaland, bro. Like, come on, man. Yeah, with the balloon. Yeah. But yeah, of course. We don't even need to like brush up on that.
Yeah, I think without Kane now, I mean, even the last season didn't struggle, but like without Kane now, he's just gonna turn.
Who
do you think then on that? Joking aside with Alexander Isak, if you take out first place going to Haaland, who do you think is going to be the next? You reckon Salah?
I think it would be depends how Salah plays, and it depends how Isaac plays. If he carries on his first team start, and there's even like shouts for like what's that Nigerian player for him?
Taiwo.
Yeah. He scored in 3 consecutive games now.
Yeah.
Like if he carries on, and nicks a couple more, he could become second. He could be third.
Big guy.
Yeah, exactly.
Big guy.
I think it'll be hard to say second.
You think maybe like someone like Matome or Ever Ferguson for Brighton?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Little shouts like that.
Yeah.
If because they've been banging in,
like Bowen.
Imagine Bowen scored in every game now. I think he scored 2 and 3. So like, Matt be 3 and 3, isn't it now? Could be, but I
think it might be.
But that's play. You just don't know because they all drop off. Because like you think about it, loads of teams have had the one team starts really well with one of their players scoring all the time, and then they can kind of flop. But yeah, I think obviously Haaland will smash it again. But I think Isaac is up there for second.
Yep.
I think even kind of players like. Yeah, I think Isaac's probably the most favourite one next, if I'm honest. If Newcastle,
if he stays fit, because he got to double digits last season, but he got injured in like October and was out until like maybe February time. So it'll be interesting to see what he does with a full season.
100%. But yeah, I think we all agree with that. I think it's
100%.
I think it's quite obvious.
Assist though, who do you think is going to be the assist king?
De Bruyne, I was going to go for, but now that he's out,
it's
a struggle. I think again, I have to back Arsenal and go Odegaard, but
wild card Ward-Prowse.
You think?
Wild card. Because the way he has locked in for West Ham and that corner he took and like all of that, Ward-Prowse. And also because he's made jokes about like, just get me on the free kicks. Do you know what I mean? Because I think he is, I think for what they play, he's essential.
He's a different player than Rice. Because to replace Rice, he's very different. Rice had a different game. Where if he's got a very good game, he's a set piece taker. He can 100%. Do this, he can do that. Where Rice was more of a defender, he's more of kind of a more of attacking midfielder. Like he probably attacks more than he defends.
Yeah.
Where Rice was overall. So it's interesting to see how he has slotted in.
And West Ham's game against Brighton, they were like their counter attack was phenomenal.
Well,
and all of their goals were like a long ball controlled really well, another long ball. So like the goal within 2 or 3 passes, and I think that just is perfectly tailored toward Prowse.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
He likes to play in the air.
Yeah,
Do you know what I mean? He can ping a ball.
Yeah.
What was the question?
Assists.
I really want a close up of your face.
I was like, I was thinking about West Ham. They're just a good team,
bubbles.
man. They're a good team. Assists, I might go for Gabby Martinelli. Just because, like, those two
Serious
wings.
answers, bro.
Like, what do you mean serious answers, bro? He's got a couple assists already.
First assist.
Fair.
Nah. I don't know. I just think that our wingers are just like the best wingers in world football, and I think that guy just never stops running, man. And I think with Saka, we're more focused. We're always so focused on the right hand. Like we will play through the right wing a lot more, and that's why I think Saka will get more goals. But Martinelli, I think he's up there for assisting, or Ward-Prowse. Or maybe Bruno Fernandes as well, actually. Yeah.
There's people like you in this world.
I reckon James Maddison.
Oh, that's a shout, actually.
That's
James
this
Maddison,
one.
'cause he just looks dangerous. Like,
That's
he
right.
just looked like I was watching the football that we're playing. Ange Postecoglou was like under the radar manager. He's got them playing some really good football, and he's such a focal point. So I think Maddison could easily, with De Bruyne being injured, I think Maddison could take it.
Agree on that one. I'd say Maddison. Sadly, I don't want to say it as loud, to be honest, because Tottenham fans might be listening. So don't want to give them an ego boost more than they need it. But I just think that him coming over from Leicester, he was basically their best player last season for Leicester, and then coming over now to Tottenham. He's basically he's
what they
kept
need.
It going. He's exactly what he needed, especially because of the fact of he knows he can just give it to everybody. Like, I mean, the sad reality is basically they put on Instagram, someone said that, we thought he was a gooner. He's like, no, I never said I was a gooner at any point in time. So I was just like, sticky. But like, you need those guys at your club. You need those guys who are gonna just give it. And I think he can do it all in any kind of way. I just wish he just didn't go to Tottenham.
With how Spurs are playing right now and the signings they've made and the new manager, it's almost like Harry Kane's left when I think arguably with him they would have had their best chance of winning a trophy. Which is just it's football, in it.
But then I do feel like I agree with that. But I feel like he would have again. I don't think they would have challenged for a title maybe or even anything with him being there. I still think it's good that he's
almost
gone.
Like a blessing and a curse.
I think it's good for them. I think it will, like you said, it's a bit toxic. Gets a little bit toxic. Do you know what I mean?
Well, he scored like something stupid, like 41% of Tottenham's goals last season, which is like impressive as a lone striker. But in today's game, you need like every player as a goal threat. Like that's why Man City are just horrible to play against. You're like, it's their right back on the ball. Oh no, it's a screamer into the top corner.
Vincent Company once again.
He's got the ball at his feet and is like playing better passes than
you're like, hang about,
and you're like,
who's that striker? No, it's Rodri.
In the Champions League final, it's Rodri.
It's crazy. Like they've got goals from every area, which is what you need.
You can't just
from
have like
literally centre backs to full-backs, to midfield, to striker, to wingers. They've got goals everywhere.
I think Edison, he's a nutter, and I think he would go in for a few headers. Do you know
what
I'm saying? He loves it.
1-1, 90 minutes, Edison is coming up.
He's
coming up to score.
We were talking about that the other day, like how back in the day it used to be a lot more like you needed individual players to do fucking magic, whereas now it's like a whole team effort constantly.
100%.
Your whole team needs to be on it, pressing or attacking together, whereas before it was like you just needed like good 5 minutes from Henry,
like
Camp or something.
Old Man U. It was like you had Ronaldo, Rooney, and
Tevez.
And it was like they could just be class. It didn't really matter about the rest of the team because if you're playing Blackburn,
back then,
you know what I mean? They could
no disrespect. Look, more on Gavs Pedersen.
On the free.
More Gavs Pedersen.
That guy was hard.
More Gavs, two guys. More Gavs Pedersen.
Yes. Santa Cruz is cold.
We've been watching a long time.
Yeah. Them players were
the
unreal.
faces
Guys
popping
had
in.
my money a long time.
That's like vintage Premier League.
Yeah, man.
Okay, Santa Cruz.
That Blackburn kit where it was like the obviously the blue and white stripes, and I forgot what the sponsor was. I think it was like
McCall's.
yeah, I think it was.
McCall.
Yeah. And it was just like they used to rep that. That was a cold era. That was a cold era.
Blackburn and that old Bolton team with Kevin Nolan.
Yeah,
Kevin
Bolton was cold.
Mark Viduka.
That Leeds team. Harry Kewell.
Yeah, different time.
They had that
Different
guy,
time,
some
yeah.
Eastern European guy.
But yeah, to finish on things, we would we obviously discussed kind of our players of the season, who we think will be the player of the season. So when we say player of the season, more kind of thing who you think will perform well in the team and so on. So it pains me to say it, but I have like I said, we have to go obviously. I think we Maddison. I think hate to say it as an Arsenal fan, but I think he brings an extra thing to them. Not just assist. I think he will get goals because he's already got goals. I think he brings something extra that they've been missing. Like if you look at Spurs, yes, they've had Harry Kane, they've had Son, and so on. But I feel like he brings that extra bit that they're missing, and I think you'll see this season why he's so important and why I think he'll be one of the best players of the season. Which is horrible to say, but yeah, I think not to be biased, he will be.
James Maddison. Yeah. I found it very tricky with this one because obviously player of the season you want like it's not just goals, not just assists
overall.
Because I would have just stuck with Sandy Tonali, but apart from that,
No idea who.
18-year-old. No, but I don't. Yeah, I was stumped on this one. I think for player of the season, I didn't want to just say Haaland because that would be a joke.
Boring.
Exactly. But no, I think I couldn't work one out for this, which is pretty peak to be fair. But yeah.
You ain't got one.
No.
Mad.
No, not for this one. No.
Mad.
Okay. I'm biased. I'm gonna say either Declan Rice, just because he's got experience from the Premier League and like
Fits in. He's already been
fits
there,
in, and he's just like already loved by everyone around him. Like if we go on to win the league, I think he will have a big thing to do with it. Or Bukayo Saka, because I think that guy is just something else. And I think that this season, like the way I saw yesterday in the game, like he got that pen and like it's just mentality monsters. That's what we have in our club now, and we never had that before. For the longest time I've supported this club, but now all these players are like mentality monsters.
Do you know Saka's the first player from the recent player for Arsenal who's started 83 consecutive games?
Yeah, he took over.
He's
Paul
21.
Merson's thing.
He's literally 21, and he started in 83 consecutive games at the age of 21.
Oh boy.
And he doesn't even look like he's tired. I mean, but it does look like it's catching up, though. I can't lie.
He needs a bit of a rest.
Yeah.
A lot of pressure. I think as well, you need like competition.
Yeah, you
If
do.
you get like a right winger to compete with them, because you brought Pepe back.
Yeah. I think they're gonna put
He's
him
getting sold. He's getting sold.
reckon?
You reckon? I think apparently
He's
he's gonna
getting
try
sold
and-
to Saudi. Man.
Fair.
Oh no.
Oh yeah, he's getting sold to
There's
Saudi.
Pepe. There's even Nelson to come. And
Yeah,
there's Trossard who's
you can play
good.
Trossard.
Yeah.
Trossard is
should get a start.
bro.
Like,
I
he's
love
class.
Trossard, man. Every time he comes on,
But-
50 shapeshifter.
But yeah, I agree, man. I think that's a good shout, definitely.
Yeah.
I think.
I don't know whether this would class as like maybe young player of the season, but I've just got an inkling that Phil Foden. I just think like
Just gonna.
It's his time as well, isn't it?
I
'Cause
really
of De
like
Bruyne,
him.
yeah.
I think I'm willing him to do well because I just like him as a person. Same like Eze from Palace. There's just players when you're like I just hope you do well.
Yeah.
But I think KDB's injured. It's like a massive season for him. Again, he's super young, isn't he? Only like 21 as well.
Yeah.
But like technically, he is just so enjoyable to watch when he's running with the ball. If he adds like goals, then I think it could be a massive breakout season.
Definitely, I agree. Yeah,
But he might get young player, so
but still,
I don't know.
Yeah.
I'm gonna say Matome for Brighton. He's basically started off what he did last season and just carried it on. It's not gonna be like he's not gonna be up there. He's not gonna be that guy like Haaland. Yeah, he's not. But he's going to just constantly make an impact. To be honest, I wanted to potentially say someone like Moussa Diaby for Villa now. I think he's been class to come in there.
that's a big
Matome,
signing.
he's just a rocket. He just goes. He's constantly going, and the fact that he just causes terror for any defender he's running at.
Like lethal.
Absolutely, and he's quick on the ball. He just when he runs, he's running. He's just basically just he just takes everyone's. He just takes on everyone.
Yeah, that's good. No, definitely. No.
How much time do we have left?
Probably done now. Yeah,
fair. I was gonna ask one like small question. I wanted to know like what everyone's like one of their favorite moments for their football club. I don't know. It's just I just wanted to know.
Big question.
Yeah, just because it's a good way to end. I think. Joyous moments.
Yeah, I've got one.
Go on.
Yeah?
Go on.
Sorry for the Gunners, but I was
The fourth,
I was at the match.
Oh, was you?
I was behind the goal that every goal got scored at, and we got to the game late. And I remember when my dad and my older brother, and then we sat down, and I think it's like Walcott was running through. He either scored or passed it to Van Persie, but like I wanted to leave at that half time, and then my dad was like, "No, we can't leave." And then obviously Teode, rest his definitely one of them.
Yeah, I think for me it has to be the FA Cup final when we were 2-0 down against Hull, and then Aaron Ramsey wasn't it? Scored that winner.
Got a free kick.
Yeah, that goal at the end, I went crazy. Yeah, that was probably one of my favourite moments watching like as an Arsenal fan, and for sure that'd be one that I'll always remember just because of the way we came back. We thought I was like Hull City, we're 2-0 down, like what? So yeah, that'd be definitely one, and plus we won a trophy after it. It was nice.
I think mine. I've technically got two, but mine's probably when Omri came back against the Leeds to go against Leeds.
That goal.
The season was absolutely going terrible, and him coming back, just being able to score that goal, the way the Emirates erupted,
that was incredible.
It was fantastic.
And then watching that,
and I'd probably just say the Jamaica women's team making it to making it past the group stages, and like the best GoFundMe to be going in existence.
Crazy.
That's a mad thing, right?
That probably is one of my favorite moments.
That's crazy.
And still made it as well.
Yeah.
To be fair, with United, haven't really just been holding on since.
It finally comes.
If I'm very honest, just been holding on since Fergie era. Like genuinely clutching straws. I would say the best moment for me was when Van Gaal tripped over. Ultimately, I said, this is my team now. So but obviously because it's like I could talk about all of like the Fergie era, but it's like that for me just that was like a mad time because I was probably getting into football then, and then I was like, oh okay, this is that team for me. But yeah, I think I'm still waiting to see that new new moment. Yeah, of course. Like we're clutching straws, we're nearly losing like 2-0 to Nottingham Forest. Like I need to see some consistency first.
I hear you.
I would say when Danny Welbeck scored against Leicester, even though we didn't win the league that year, like I remember when he scored that goal, like the way I was screaming, like Leicester we'd beaten Leicester twice.
Yeah, we were the only team, wasn't we?
Yeah, we were the only team, and I was like,
to
this is it.
Yeah.
And then I would say recently, when we beat United last year, when Nketiah scored that like 90th
that little flick,
goal, little flick. I was again. I thought we were gonna win the league.
Yeah.
But those are my
last season we probably that or Bournemouth. The Bournemouth goal when we scored that. Or Nelson's.
The Reece Nelson.
No, that
like
Rith
scale stuff. That was
when he turned. Literally my background at most times. Like
he literally
that was crazy.
When he touched it down, I was like, don't shoot, shot. I was like, it was like a Vincent Kompany moment. That was funny because I always remember that when Aguero was there like, Vinny, don't shoot, don't shoot. And he shot, top corner, won the league. Like crazy.
Don't shoot.
That and Nketiah's, not Nketiah, Danny Welbeck's goal.
Nice. Well, it's been a lovely podcast as always. I hope you've enjoyed it. I've enjoyed it. I hope you guys enjoyed it.
Thank you
for having me. What I was thinking, we definitely have to do after the season's over. We have to do this again. We look back at our predictions. We've got through. That'd be sick. Same guess. We'll do it again for sure.
Mason Mount don't do any good.
We started eating our shorts.
Start
blessing Mount. Being the best player, top assist, top goal scorer. But yeah, as always, it's been your boy TJ.
It's been your boy Manny.
Rith,
Jerome,
Kyle.
And we'll see you for the next episode. As always, like, comment, subscribe. If you're on Spotify, as always, you know, give us a follow,
give us a
rating.
review.
Yeah, give us a nice review.
You know.
But yeah, I've enjoyed this. Hope you have. Let us know, you know, if we want to bring the boys back and do like the review of our predictions, because that would be really nice. But yeah, as always, we'll see you next time.
Peace. Safe.
Peace.
Bye.
Take care, man.
Yo, bro. I just started this verse from the beginning of the whole song.
Je suis dans la Maybach fantôme, ça fume la weed comme au down.